If you or someone you love receives Social Security benefits, then what I'm about to share with you today is something you absolutely cannot afford to miss. This is not something that can wait until tomorrow or next week. This is happening right now, and it is going to affect millions of seniors across this country starting in 2026. So please, find a comfortable seat, grab a pen and paper if you need to take some notes, and stay with me all the way through this video. Because by the end, you are going to know exactly what is changing, how it affects you personally, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to protect yourself and your benefits. Every single year, the Social Security Administration makes adjustments and updates to how benefits work. But what is happening in 2026 is being described by many experts and advocates as one of the most significant rule changes in recent memory. We are talking about changes that could directly impact the amount of money that lands in your bank account every month, the way your benefits are calculated, and in some cases, whether certain seniors even qualify for the benefits they have been counting on. So let us get into all of it right now, step by step, in plain, everyday language that makes sense. Let's start at the very beginning so we are all on the same page. Social Security has been the financial backbone of retirement for tens of millions of Americans for decades. Right now, more than 70 million people in the United States receive some form of Social Security benefit. That includes retired workers, disabled individuals, and surviving family members of people who have passed away. For most seniors, Social Security is not just a nice bonus on top of other income. It is the primary source of income they depend on to pay their rent, buy their groceries, cover their medications, and keep the lights on. So when major rule changes come through, it sends a wave of concern across the entire senior community, and rightfully so. Now, one of the biggest changes coming in 2026 has to do with how the Social Security Administration is going to be recalculating and verifying benefits for a large group of recipients. The agency has announced a significant push toward what they are calling a benefits accuracy review. In plain terms, this means the Social Security Administration is going through its records and doing a deep review of who is receiving benefits, how much they are receiving, and whether those amounts are still accurate based on current rules and regulations. For most people who have been receiving the correct amount with no issues, this process should not create major problems. But for those who have had any changes in their income, their living situation, their marital status, or their work history, this review could result in changes to their monthly payment amount. Here is where things get especially important for people who receive Supplemental Security Income, which most people know as SSI. SSI is a needs-based program, which means the amount you receive is directly tied to your income, your resources, and your living situation. In 2026, the Social Security Administration is implementing stricter and more frequent verification requirements for SSI recipients. What this means in practical terms is that if you receive SSI, you may be contacted by the Social Security Administration more often to verify your financial situation. They may ask for documentation of your bank accounts, your income, and any resources you have. If you do not respond to these requests in a timely manner, or if your reported information does not match what is on file, your benefits could be reduced or temporarily suspended while they sort things out. This is not something to be afraid of if you are honest and organized, but it is something you need to be prepared for. Now, let's talk about another major change that is affecting retired workers specifically. This one has to do with the earnings test, which is a rule that affects people who are receiving Social Security retirement benefits before they reach full retirement age but are still working. For 2026, the earnings thresholds are being adjusted, and the way those adjustments are being calculated has changed in a way that some financial experts are raising concerns about. Here is how it works. If you are under your full retirement age and you are still working while collecting Social Security, there is a limit to how much you can earn before your benefits are temporarily reduced. In 2025, that limit was around $22,320 per year. For 2026, that limit is being adjusted, but the formula being used to set that adjustment has been modified, and some advocates are warning that the adjustment may not keep up with actual wage growth and inflation, meaning more seniors could find themselves accidentally bumping up against that earnings limit without realizing it. If you are working and collecting Social Security at the same time, this is something you need to pay very close attention to. The good news is that any benefits withheld because of the earnings test are not lost forever. Once you reach your full retirement age, the Social Security Administration recalculates your benefit and gives you credit for those withheld months. But in the short term, if your benefits are reduced because of this rule, it can create real financial strain. So the best advice here is to keep careful track of your earnings throughout the year. And if you think you might be getting close to that limit, reach out to the Social Security Administration or a benefits counselor to talk through your options before the problem occurs rather than after. Let's also talk about what is happening with the full retirement age, because there is a change here that is catching a lot of people off guard. For people born in 1959, the full retirement age is 66 years and 10 months. But for people born in 1960 or later, the full retirement age is 67 years old. This is not a new rule, but what is new is that the Social Security Administration is doing a much stronger job of communicating this in 2026 as part of a broader public education effort. The concern is that millions of Americans who are approaching retirement have been planning based on the assumption that their full retirement age is 65 or 66, not realizing that their benefits will be permanently reduced if they claim before reaching 67. If you were born in 1960 or later and you are planning to retire soon, please take a moment to verify your full retirement age using your My Social Security account online or by calling the Social Security Administration directly. Speaking of the My Social Security online account, this is something every single person watching this video should have set up if they do not already. Starting in 2026, the Social Security Administration is moving even more of its correspondence and benefit management tools to the online platform. While they are not eliminating paper mail entirely, there is a clear shift happening where more notices, more updates, and more verification requests will be sent electronically to people who have online accounts. If you do not have an account and you do not receive those notices, you could miss something important and not even know it. Setting up your My Social Security account is free. It is secure, and it takes just a few minutes. You can do it at ssa.gov. If you need help setting it up, many local libraries and senior centers offer free assistance with this. Now let's talk about something that has been generating a lot of conversation in the senior community, and that is the question of Social Security's long-term funding and what it means for your benefits right now. The latest trustees report has again flagged concerns about the Social Security Trust Fund running low if no legislative changes are made. While Congress has not yet passed a major reform package, there are ongoing discussions about adjustments to the benefit formula, changes to the taxation of benefits, and potential modifications to cost of living adjustments. None of these changes have been finalized into law yet, but they are very much on the table, and seniors deserve to know about them so they can plan accordingly. One of the most talked about proposals is a change to how cost of living adjustments are calculated. Right now, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security is based on something called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. Many senior advocates have been pushing for years to switch this to a different index called the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, which tracks spending patterns that are more typical of older Americans, including higher spending on healthcare and housing. If this switch were to happen, it could result in slightly higher cost of living adjustments for seniors each year. On the other hand, some proposals being discussed would use a more conservative inflation measure that could actually result in smaller increases over time. The direction Congress ultimately goes on, this will have a meaningful impact on the purchasing power of your Social Security check for years to come. Now let us get into some very practical advice that you can act on right now, today, regardless of exactly how these changes ultimately shake out. The first and most important thing you can do is make sure your contact information with the Social Security Administration is completely up to date. If they have an old address, an old phone number, or an old email address for you, you could miss critical notices about your benefits. You can update your information by logging into your My Social Security account online, visiting your local Social Security office, or calling them at 1-800-772-1213. The second thing you should do is pull up your Social Security statement and take a good look at your earnings record. Your Social Security benefit is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings, and if there are any errors in your record, those errors will directly reduce your benefit amount. Mistakes do happen, and the Social Security Administration themselves encourages people to review their records regularly. If you spot something that does not look right, report it as soon as possible. The older an error is, the harder it can be to correct, so do not put this off. Third, if you receive SSI or SSDI, stay on top of your reporting requirements. Anytime your income changes, your living situation changes, or your resources change, you are required to report those changes to the Social Security Administration. Failing to report can result in overpayments, which the agency will then try to collect back from you, sometimes by reducing your monthly benefit for months or even years until the overpayment is recovered. This is one of the most common and painful financial surprises that SSI and SSDI recipients face, and it is almost entirely preventable with good reporting habits. Fourth, if you have any questions about your benefits or about how these rule changes might affect you specifically, please do not rely on guesswork or on what a neighbor or a friend tells you. Reach out directly to the Social Security Administration, or better yet, connect with a benefits counselor through your local area agency, on aging, your state health insurance assistance program, or a nonprofit senior advocacy organization in your area. These services are typically free of charge and can provide personalized guidance based on your specific situation. Fifth, be very cautious about scammers who try to take advantage of confusing news like this. Whenever there are major rule changes or government announcements, scammers go to work. They will call you pretending to be from the Social Security Administration, telling you that your benefits are at risk or that you need to take immediate action to avoid losing your check. Please remember that the real Social Security Administration will almost never call you out of the blue. They communicate primarily through the mail and through your online account. If you get a suspicious call, hang up. Do not give out your Social Security number, your bank account information, or any personal details. Then call the official Social Security number to report what happened. There is also a very important development happening with Medicare in 2026 that goes hand in hand with these Social Security changes, because the two programs are closely linked. The Medicare Part B premium, which is typically deducted directly from your Social Security check, is expected to increase again in 2026. When that premium goes up, it directly reduces the net amount of your Social Security payment, even if your gross benefit has increased due to a cost of living adjustment. This is a pattern that many seniors find deeply frustrating, and it is completely understandable. The best way to prepare for this is to plan your budget with the understanding that a portion of any Social Security increase may be absorbed by the rising Medicare premium before the money even reaches you. If you are having trouble affording your Medicare premiums or your prescription drug costs, there are programs available that can help. The Medicare Savings Programs can pay some or all of your Medicare Part B premium depending on your income level. The Extra Help program can significantly reduce your prescription drug costs under Medicare Part D. These programs are underutilized, meaning many people who qualify for them are not taking advantage of them simply because they do not know they exist. Please look into these options. They could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. Here is the bottom line on everything we have talked about today. 2026 is bringing real changes to the Social Security system, and those changes will affect millions of seniors in ways that are both financial and logistical. The seniors who will come through these changes in the best shape are the ones who are informed, organized, and proactive. They are the ones who have their contact information updated, who review their statements, who report changes on time, who know their full retirement age, who have their My Social Security account set up, and who reach out for help when they need it, rather than waiting until a problem becomes a crisis. You have worked hard your entire life to earn these benefits. You deserve to receive every single dollar you are entitled to, and you deserve to have the information you need to protect what is yours. That is exactly why we create these videos every single day here on US Senior Policy. Our entire mission is to make sure you have clear, accurate, and timely information about the programs that matter most to your financial security and your peace of mind. If this video helped you today, please hit that like button right now. It is a simple thing that makes a huge difference in helping other seniors find this information when they need it. And if you are not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe right now and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We post new videos every single day covering Social Security, Medicare, SSI, SSDI, and all the other programs that affect your life. Share this video with a friend, a family member, or anyone you know who is on Social Security or approaching retirement, because this information could make a real difference in their financial life. We will see you in the next video, and as always, we are here fighting for you every single day.